Well, how about it, y'all? This is Daniel Nicholson with Nicholson Farms, and welcome back to another video. Just got back to the home farm from checking on the does and the steer goats up the road. I didn't do much filming up there. The family was in the yard, so I didn't really feel like breaking out the camera. But all the does look really well. Body condition looks really well. We're about 2.5 months away from kidding, and I think we're starting to see some pregnant bellies on those girls. But like I said, everybody up there looks good. Got a couple things I want to do this afternoon. I had a project in mind, but I forgot what I needed at work. We need to be putting some kind of cover on where the pigs eat out of our feeders. I've got an old conveyor belt at work that I was going to bring home. That's what today's video was going to be about, but I guess that's going to have to wait till next time. But I still have chores to do. Got a little bit I need to do in the greenhouse, so I guess let's get started. So we had a little problem in the greenhouse last week, so I'm gonna need some seeds out of this freezer. I think these are the ones I need. Let's get up the greenhouse, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's take a step in the greenhouse. I haven't been in here today. Got some broccoli and cauliflower, lettuces. Let me show you what my issue is. And actually we got another one. That's my culprit right there. That's the second one I've caught in 2 days. I put these glue traps out, put a little poison out, but caught 2 on the glue traps. But as you can see on this flat right here, we've got plants coming up. It's a gap where, I don't know if you can tell on camera, been digging, eating my seeds. These 2 flats are the ones that got hit the hardest. I don't really know of any other ones. There's one over here you can see a little bit of on this little cell, and this one they got. So I guess we're gonna put out some more sticky traps and see if we can catch some more mice. And we're about to replant these couple cells real quick. Man, it's warm in this greenhouse. I had to shed my jacket. But I know those mice it's winter. They're struggling to find something to eat, and they're just trying to make a living. But I don't want them making their living in my greenhouse. So we're just gonna replant these couple cells back. I'm not gonna worry about that one. We got plenty of lettuces to try to sell or plant for ourselves. But the 2 that got messed up is a Grand Rapids lettuce and then a romaine, kind of a red tinted romaine. So got the seeds, might as well replant them. All I'm gonna do is always use a Sharpie. I just kind of make a little divot in the end. Let me see if I can adjust the camera, you can see a little better. I just make kind of set my finger of how deep I want it. You can see we're just going in about 1/8 of an inch for lettuce. But we're just gonna go along with our Sharpie, kind of make a little bit of a divot to set our seed into. There's probably some seeds still in the ground right here that the mice didn't get that could potentially pop up, but like I said, we got plenty of seed. We're gonna go ahead and replace them. I did plant a bunch of different varieties of lettuce this year. This will be the first year we try to sell lettuces as well. So I didn't really know what everybody wants. I know you have your popular ones like iceberg, romaine, butter crunch and stuff like that. But I wanted to be able to sell a variety to see what actually sells. And at the end of the day, me and Maddie eat a salad like at least once a day. So if anything else, we'll have plenty of salad or lettuces that we'll plant at the house and be good to go. I got the seeds planted. I went ahead and watered everything. But to cover up the seeds, I've already done it, but typically I just kind of pinch the soil right above the top of it. Just to cover that seed a little bit whenever you water it. Presses down your soil and get you soil to seed contact. So I guess since these little glue traps have been working, I've done caught 2, let's go ahead and put out 2 or 3 more just in case there's any more mice coming in here. our barn's right, like our equipment shed is right beside it. We don't keep any feed in there, but the neighbor's pasture's back here behind us. Some tall grass around. Those mice are hiding somewhere. Just don't want them hiding in here and getting a meal in here, so we'll put out a couple more of those. Good to go for right now. Hopefully we don't catch any more. That means we got them all. But if they do come in here, hopefully those glue traps are gonna work. So that's pretty much everything in the greenhouse this afternoon. Everything's already been watered. Still running our heater at night. Actually, it ran all day today. It was kind of cloudy. I knew the greenhouse wasn't gonna get up to temp. So we ran the heater all day today, trying to get all these plants off to a good start. But our broccoli's come up, our cauliflowers come up, our onions are trying to, and the majority of our lettuces have come up. These couple lettuces right here were planted a couple days later, so they should be up tomorrow or the next day. Still no cilantro, still no Brussels sprouts. So still waiting on a few, but everything's looking good in here. Let's go ahead and I guess get started on some animal chores. So change of plans. I'm not going to show you the animal chores. You've seen that several times in the past couple videos, so we'll skip that today. But as you can see, we got a line of hay behind us. Me and my dad went to see my grandmother and our family. Actually, we finally did Christmas with my dad's side of the family about a month late, and grabbed those bales while we were down there. But like I said, we're not gonna bore you with the animal chores this afternoon. Let's run up to the pig pen and I'll show you the problem we're having with that feeder that I made, and I guess what we're gonna do to fix the problem. So we got our group of little sick goats. We are still running them on cord. I started them on that 2 days ago. Their water trough is underneath the barn, so it can't get rained in and kind of dilute that mixture, but it is wet around here. We are supposed to get rain. I know the sun's shining now, but we got rain yesterday afternoon. We got some this morning, and we're supposed to have rain every day this week. So definitely wanted to put that trough underneath the barn to hold their water. But the way the weatherman talks, this is gonna be the last pretty afternoon we have for a whole week. I've been catching my eye for the past couple of weeks, and that is all these. This was a pile of horse manure. See where that one's been scratched on. This one's been spread out. I don't know what's coming out here and scratching all these things up. I'm assuming a skunk probably, I guess, looking for grubs. But I kind of like it. Taking those manure piles and kind of spreading out that fertility a little bit. So it's good with me. How about you, Goaty? So as you can see, the pig pens are already a muddy mess. I mean, this pen, they're not even in. They haven't been in weeks. It's muddy from the rain yesterday afternoon and this morning. This pen they're in's a sloppy mess. They do have a dry spot. This is kind of a incline here. There's a dry spot up there, but it's nasty. It's not much I can do about it. But here's our problem right here. Where the feed comes out the bottom, if this gets rained on, this tends to get clogged up. Like it's clogged up right there in that corner. And then over here, it's kind of clogged up again. And I got a PVC pole right there that I kind of stick down in there to break it loose. But that only works until it rains again. So I kind of want to address this. Like I said, I was planning on doing that today. Kind of had plans on making a video of that today. I hate I left my piece of conveyor belt at work. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come through here with that conveyor belt and just screw it in all the way across. Just kind of cover this a little bit. So hopefully that feed doesn't get wet. Feels like they still got a good bit in there. Probably have to feed them tomorrow. But all the pigs are looking pretty healthy. Isn't that right? You don't like me touching you? How about you? No. Don't have the friendliest pigs. Oh yeah, they got plenty of feed. But you can kind of see how it's going down in the, I don't know if you can see or not. I pushed that pile down. But it's going down in the center, but it's not going on the edges where it's blocked up out here. We'll just kind of push this down. I said I probably needed to feed them tomorrow, but I guess they look pretty good for the next couple days. And honestly, I need to move them. But that pen's just as wet. I don't know if I'm gonna move them yet or not. Let the rain stop and then move them. I worry we're only really tearing up one pen pretty bad instead of two. I don't know. But they need some water. Let me go get the water hose hooked up for them. You gonna let me pet you? Nope. None of you. Pigs go through a ton of water whenever they have full access to dry feed. I can tell whenever that's clogged up about how much water they've drank. If I come up here from the day before and I notice the water's doesn't need to be filled up, I know that feeder's clogged and I need to clean it out. So these, I think 13, yeah, these 13 pigs right here are going through one of these 55-gallon drums of water a day. They can't drink it all because the nipple's a little risen, but they're going through a ton of water a day. We'll top them off and they're gonna be good to go. So while I'm waiting on the water to fill up and before I end this video, I guess we'll give you a couple more updates about the farm, how everything's going. We'll start off with the cows. They're standing right here. I was just looking at them. But our two steers are doing really, really well. I haven't noticed them lose any weight because of stress or anything like that since they've been here. They've been eating really, really well on the grain. The first week or so, about 2 weeks actually, they wasn't cleaning up their grain. Now they're cleaning up all the grain. I need to increase it a little bit, but I kind of want to hold them back. I want to force them to eat some hay. The hay is a whole lot cheaper for us to produce than going buying grain. So I want them eating hay as much as possible. But they're doing good. They pretty much settled in. They're still a little curious about the dogs and the goats and the pigs and everything around them, but they're getting adjusted just fine. Sirloin, our steer that we took to the processor last Friday or a couple days ago, was 3 weeks since we've taken him to the processor, and still haven't gotten the meat back. I tried to call the processor today and get an update, you know, when we're going to get our meat back. They didn't answer the phone. I don't know if they're off on Mondays or what. I'm recording this on a Monday, but still haven't heard from them. Hopefully they're going to call us this week and we're going to have some fresh beef in the freezer. I'm looking forward to those steaks. I'd love to have one of them steaks on Friday afternoon to cap off the week, but we'll just have to wait and see. The pigs are doing great. We've got 13 feeder pigs here. They're doing really well. They're starting to put on some weight. They're eating really well. Our two pigs up at the lease are where the does are. That's our boar and another feeder pig. It's about time to take that feeder pig out with that boar because I want to start controlling how much that boar is eating. I don't want him to have full access to feed. I kind of want to slow him down because some of these sows or gilts that I'm going to keep out of here is a good bit smaller than him. So I don't want him to be too big whenever we go to breed here in a couple months. The other two pigs that we still have over here in the barn, they're over there eating. They are going to be processed, not this coming weekend, but next weekend. We're going to do our butchering. We'll make a video of all that. We always do. But we're going to be taking those two pigs. They're about 300. I say one of them's probably 300. The other one's probably 325, 330, something like that. I'm going to weigh them this year. See what I want to weigh them, see how much they are live, how much carcass weight, and also how much meat we actually get off of them. I kind of make a whole video around that is my idea if it all works out. But those two are going to be processed here in 2 weeks, and that'll go to feeding me and Maddie, my parents, my brother, and another family is buying one of the pigs. I don't know if they're buying the whole thing yet or not, but whatever they don't buy, we'll keep ourselves and we'll consume throughout the year. That'll be our pork for the whole year. So they're doing really well. The goats, everybody's looking really well. You saw at the beginning of the video, we got some pretty big nannies already, and we're 2.5 months away from kidding. I suspect that we're going to have a lot of late kidders, being that we had Clyde with one herd, and then we've had Thunder with our doelings, and then we left Thunder in for a whole nother month. with that whole herd, with everybody combined together. So I think we're gonna have some late kidders. Kind of caught a couple cycles that we missed. It's probably especially on those doelings. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know what percentage of the doelings are actually going to be bred either way. So we'll have to see how many babies we get. Looking forward to that. But all of them are looking really well. Our sick goats here, they're doing really well. 5 out of the 6 have pretty much, no more runs. They're eating grain. I'm feeding them grain a little bit. They're starting to gain some weight. I've got one that's still got a little bit of runs, looks pretty poor. We'll just have to wait and see. I've already dewormed them. I've gave them vitamin B, all kind of stuff, try to help them along, Nutri-Drench, extra things. He's on cord. We've got mineral out and he's getting grain. So I'm doing everything I can for him. If he wants to recover, that's on him. We'll just have to wait and see. Our bucks are doing really well. They're in the back in their, I guess, little guy's pen. I haven't named what it is. I don't know if it's a man cave or what we're gonna call it. But the little pen or our little barn, that's where our 2 bucks are right now. They're getting a little bit of grain and they've got hay and all that good stuff. Our rabbits are doing well. Should have baby rabbits actually this coming weekend. And I'm getting ready. We've got 4 other does that are in the rabbit tractor. We're getting ready to breed them this coming weekend. So we have some babies to hopefully sell at Easter time. I've never tried to really sell the baby rabbits at Easter time, so I'm kind of curious to see how that works. If not, we'll just process those rabbits like we normally do. But everything is looking good around here at the farm. We're super wet. I told myself back in the summer when it was so dry that I was not going to complain about rain for a while. We had a really dry summer. We didn't have it nearly as bad as all the folks out west, but we did experience a little bit of a drought. Didn't really have a lot of growing, but I told myself I would not complain about rain. But man, it's starting to get hard. It's a soupy mess everywhere you step. I'm so glad we got these water lines put in the pasture, because I do not want to keep driving through our pasture hauling water and all that stuff. Everywhere you step, it's muddy. You can just, on high ground, you step and you can hear the water underneath you. So we're definitely wet. Getting our aquifers and our groundwater back up. Hopefully this rain doesn't just shut off in the summer like it has for the past couple years. We've had real wet winters and real dry summers. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. But that's pretty much, I guess, a full update on everything that's going on around here. Greenhouse looks good. I didn't mention that. We're kind of closing it up, but everything's looking good. I really appreciate everybody that's been watching the videos, subscribing to our videos. It means a lot to us. We really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, and we'll see y'all on the next one.